Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Woodward
Victory Friday.
Woodward Nights. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Cheers, boys.
Is that Honolulu
It's
Blue
Victory
Kool-Aid?
Friday.
Wow.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Dude.
The Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Arrowhead.
Drink that down, Booner.
I'm going to be drinking this all show long. I'm not chugging it now. If you guys saw my video, if you guys go to my Twitter or Woodward's Instagram, you would have seen my video last night. I chugged the whole, I didn't chug it. I dumped the whole pitcher of Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid on me.
You chugged most of it.
I did. I think I just waterboarded myself.
Yeah, the rest landed on you.
I Kool-Aid boarded myself last night.
It happens. It happens. With a victory like that, this is Victory Friday, baby.
It is.
We did it. The Lions did it. Defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 21-20, prime time, first game of the season, kickoff for the NFL. The entire country was watching, and the Lions came out victorious. We're going to talk a lot about it, but first, we've got to introduce this amazing crew we got.
We've got our whole crew here today.
Booner,
Let's go.
tell them who we got.
We've got myself, Booner. We've got Broder here with me. We've got Jalen in the TD booth.
Yup.
Let's go, Jalen. We've got Nick in the sound booth. We've got our whole crew here today. I'm pumped. I mean, just coming off of this win last night, I feel like, and I heard the heavyweights say it, and I this is all I thought all day. I felt like I was in a dream all night long.
Yes.
I don't know if I just like died and I'm just like living in the world right now and everything's going our way with the Detroit Lions. I have no clue. But this is unbelievable that the Detroit Lions won last night. It was like if you guys watched the live stream, the emotions going up and down of that game. Me and Lucas were yelling at each other across the stream. Like we all had to. Some of us had to step out at sometimes. I was in the back over there, just like stressing out. David Montgomery touchdown, the bet that it was just everything. It couldn't have got any better though.
It didn't. Drink it in.
We're sitting here on a Victory Friday, baby.
Drink it in. You know, from the start of the day, I don't know how many of you are with us now had joined us at the different streams throughout the day, the pregame, the live stream, the postgame, but like throughout the from Woodward and Maine, the first show that I kicked off with Gabrielle D. Phillips and Terry Foster, to the postgame, which I think Nick, Maz, Stick, and Anson and Lucas, I think they wrapped up about 1:10 a.m. Total views just in 24 hours, about 79,200.
That is a day of almost
insanity.
Insane. That's insane. I think it was a huge day. I mean, just for Woodward sports in general, too. I mean, the Lions, I think we all knew when the game got announced months and months ago that all of Detroit, it was going to change everything in Detroit. Like knowing that the Detroit Lions were going to be playing in prime time to open the NFL season versus the defending champions Kansas City Chiefs versus Patrick Mahomes. I think everyone was as nervous as could be. Like I was so nervous for yesterday. But the result, man, I cannot believe that the Detroit Lions pulled off a win, 21-20 versus the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead.
Let's go.
It's interesting. You said you were nervous, and I totally understand that. I actually feel like I almost wasn't nervous. It was just like this genuine excitement all day. I didn't know what to expect, but I just felt good going into it, and I was so excited to just see the boys out there to play. Nick, just first thoughts, initial thoughts, the game last night.
I absolutely loved it. That second half, as the live stream could tell, everybody was going crazy in here when Brian Branch picked off that throw by Patrick Mahomes for a touchdown, the pick six. We all exploded. And then the post-game show, everybody was fired up after. Yesterday was a dream. I still don't feel like it's real. But here we are on Victory Friday, like Booner just said. Crack your cold ones. Get this weekend started. I'm glad you guys are tuning in with Booner. Oh, my God, with Broder and Booner.
Booner and Broder.
Cheers, boys.
Jalen, how about you, man?
Cheers, boys.
What were your thoughts on the game? Just general overview. How you feel?
Everything. Everything I said happened. I sat calm and collected. I'm lying. I didn't. I was very, nervous a little bit, but I was 10 toes. The Chiefs, they don't need to mess with me. They don't need to F around with you. Booner, Nick, they can't F with us anything.
No, nobody.
We called everything. The Brian Branch, the no receivers on KC. We called everything from spot on, and it happened, and we won the game. It was a nasty win, but I'll take it.
A win's a win, baby.
It is. We've got a packed show, too.
We do. Shout out real quick. Charles Dirksen, he was first in the chat. He's commenting. I see Coach Walk in there. Charles even said, we got to give Aaron Gled some credit. We're going to talk about Aaron Gled, but he said, Coach Prime, here's the comment. Coach Prime, a.k.a. Jalen, got called y'all. Got to give him more takes. Jalen, we might need to give the people what they want.
Let's go.
We appreciate you all. I see you, Rusty Shackelford. I see a lot of the OGs in the chat. Thank you so much for joining. Just hit that like for us.
Yeah, smash that like button. Let's get about 300 today. Let's have a day.
Let's do it.
Let's just have a day. We're gonna end the whole week here. This Lions kind of this high that we all have, the Honolulu Blue. This is all I'm gonna drink. I think the rest of the year. I think on the every show we have, I'm just gonna keep going buying this Kool-Aid. I don't know if that's good or bad for me or what, but it's the best drink of all time. It tastes so good.
I hear the Honolulu Blue flavor is packed with electrolytes and just it'll make you feel good.
It on the package it says it's for biting kneecaps, and it has a little hint of the Dan Campbell.
Damn right.
It has all of that. So.
Damn right. So before we jump into this, hey Booner, could you just tell the people where they can find some insider information from someone I know pretty well?
Yes, for all of your inside scoop on your Detroit Lions, it is the Woodward and Main show featuring Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Detroit Lions legend, or not Detroit Lions legend, all of Detroit legend, Terry Foster. Episodes will be 2 times a week, Sundays 8 to 9 a.m. and Tuesdays from 7 to 8 a.m. The most in-depth reporting and breakdown of the game, the players, and all things Detroit Lions. Make sure you go watch that on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Dude.
Right here, where we're watching right now. But
you made it.
Yeah, and let's go real quick what we have in store for today, because we have a ton of things going on. On my notes here, I had F. Colin Coward.
F. Colin Coward?
That was the first thing, I was going to go through the rundown, but what he said.
And Mike Tirico?
Not F. Mike Tirico, but we can have that conversation a little bit about what he did. But we're going to go over the game review here at about 8:15. Going to go over some plays, break down a little bit of it, kind of our initial reactions. 8:30, the confidence level of the Detroit Lions coming back home today or next week for Ford Field to play the Seahawks. They'll be playing the Seahawks next week. What are our kind of confidence levels? 8:45. We're going to take calls 313-552-6322. We're going to take calls today on the show at 8:45. 9 o'clock, we might do some more calls. We want to talk a little bit about this rookie class. I have some things about this rookie class with Dan Campbell or Brad Holmes that I want to talk about. That's about 9 o'clock there. 9:15. This Detroit Lions defense, we're going to break the defense down a little bit. 9:30 is the same old Lions narrative done. If you guys watched the pregame show, you guys saw me get into it with Lucas a little bit, because someone commented in the chat, if the Kansas City Chiefs lose, is it same old Lions? And it's something inside of me. It just flipped. Something happened in me, and I was just I don't ever want to see that word again. We're going to talk about it at 9:30.
I got this feeling up inside of me.
After the same old Lion talk, too, we're going to open the phone lines back up 313-552-6322 to take some more calls about the same old Lions. And then we're going to end the show with Ask Us Anything You Want. Anything Detroit Lions. You have a beat reporter on the other side of the desk here with me that we'll be able to answer any questions.
Ask me anything.
So that's kind of our show rundown here. So let's just start off here, Broder.
I got something to say real quick, though, because the national media, we were in the national media after the game. They were talking about everyone the Chiefs were missing. They were making these excuses. I know everyone heard the Mike Tirico asterisk remark, but you know what? Everybody was in this post-game live stream with Stick and Nick and Maz and Lucas and Anson. They had over 6,000 people at one time in there. I feel like no one in Detroit really even cares what anyone's saying anymore. It's like a win's a win.
Oh, 100%. I think that's kind of out the door. I think even going into the game, if we would have even asked some people in Detroit, like you were confident, I was confident. I feel like everyone here at Woodward was confident that they were going to go win that game yesterday. I didn't care what national media had to say at the end of the day. It was like, all right, we already know what they're going to say about the Detroit Lions. I could care less even more now after we won because we can prove it to them. So, and shout out, the NFL Blitz shirt. It's a beautiful thing.
There we go. This is my game back in the day. N64.
I love it.
I'd be the Cowboys with Coach Prime back in his day. Got Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith. They were fire. But we're not here to talk about NFL Blitz. Boner, you want to start us off?
Yeah, well, you want to tell us here? Let's kind of just go right into it here.
Yeah, please.
Kind of the first thing, we'll go to this next segment. Kind of how do you feel about that game? Because I know you're the beat reporter here at Woodward Sports. I want to see what your initial thoughts here, just takeaways from the game.
Yes.
We'll go over key plays. We'll go over key players' performances. We'll go over all of that. I just want to go around the room and just where are we at after that game? Because that was one of the best nights of my life.
It was so much fun.
Lions. So how are you feeling after that game?
It was so much fun watching with you guys. I feel great. I feel that the last question I wanted to have answered was answered, and that was, are these Lions ready for prime time? Is Dan Campbell and this coaching staff going to get these Lions ready to go from day one? The last 2 seasons, they've gotten off to very slow starts. It was 0-10-1 Dan Campbell's first season here, then 1-6 last season, and it was just too much to come back from. We couldn't make the playoffs because we started so slow. So I wanted to know, are these decisions, are the training decisions that Dan Campbell's making to, keep the starters out of preseason, all the different things he's doing in Allen Park, will that lead to not just a victory game one, but will they come ready to play?
Yeah.
They definitely showed us they were ready to play, and then they walked away with a W.
Yeah, that was something I think too. I was pretty vocal about the show leading up on Wednesday when we did our kind of pregame show for Woodward Nights. I did say the coaching battle with Dan Campbell and Andy Reid, and I was like, yeah, obviously you can't outcoach Andy Reid, but I wanted to see what Dan Campbell could do, and we already saw the Packers game, but can he consistently do this with the team when he has players and they added to that defense, and he did it. And there were some plays, obviously, like that 4th down at the end, and when you give Patrick Mahomes the ball back at the 50, 45. That one's all right, that's very dangerous. But at the end of the day, I do trust him because he knows this team more than any of us, especially week 1. So he trusts that defense to that. He felt like the way the game was going that they could go get that stop, and whether they got that stop or not, they felt like they got down the field. That offense was rolling already at that point to where if they didn't get the stop, that they could go score again. So I loved what I saw to Dan Campbell.
Yes.
That was my biggest question going into this year because we started, 0-9 year 1? Or what was it?
0-10. 0-10-1.
0-10-1 year 1. 1-6 last year. Let's not have a slow start this year. And it all came down to Dan, some of these decisions that in these big games that he was making.
Without a doubt.
And he made them. And yes, I understand there were some people on social media that was like, well, yeah, Booner, he also won us some games. Congratulations, you're a head football coach of the NFL. You're supposed to win us games, but you're not supposed to lose us games. So when he's losing us those games and we're 1-6, take that out. And I love Dan Campbell now because he went and got us a dub last night.
Yes.
I love that man.
Yeah.
I bit a few kneecaps last night.
Everything wasn't.
Don't know whose they were.
Everything wasn't the cleanest of all time last night. It wasn't like the Lions played perfect. They weren't extraordinary, but they did the ordinary things extra.
They did. And that's the thing about this Lions team, too, and I'm going to talk about it throughout the show, too, and I bet you all of you boys in this room can agree with me, everyone in the chat can agree with me, is this isn't a football team that has, a Joe Burrow or, a Justin Jefferson. We don't have, a Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. We don't have, a insane, stacked, all-pro team. We have dudes that we feel like here in the room and in Detroit can be all-pro players. But right now, there's no, massive stars out there. And this football team, this culture, they've figured out how to win as, a group. And that's one of the beautiful things I love about this team. We did it in Green Bay, and then I forgot how good it was kind of those last 8 months to sit there and just not kind of feel Lions football, and then they just pulled up to Kansas City last night. The special teams was going, the defense was going, the offense was going, the coaching was going, Brad Holmes was going. I know we saw that. And that's the difference from this team. This isn't a team that just has 2 or 3 guys that stand out. This whole team, dude. I love this whole team. They all mesh together so well, and they know how to play together.
They do. We're going to get into the game. We're going to get deep into it. But first, we're going to take a little break here from our amazing sponsors, Nick first with the Academy of Warren.
At Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art Sportsdome Fieldhouse that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also can be used for 7-on-7 football. K through 8 that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K through 8 athletics. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment. Go to academyofwarren.net.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Calling all landscapers. How would you like to landscape like a legend? Register for your chance for 4-time Stanley Cup winner Darren McCarty to work your crew for a day. That's right, Darren McCarty on your zero-turn, weed whipping and edging for your favorite clients. Sign up today at OutdoorEquipCo.com. That's OutdoorEquipCo.com. Well, let's go, boys.
Can you imagine Darren McCarty in your backyard doing your landscaping, or in your front yard? People landscape in the front
that
yards.
would be kind of wild.
D-Mac, 4-time Stanley Cup champion D-Mac. Let's get right into this game. I just want to relive this in my head. Booner.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of where to start. They got off to a hot start right from the opening kickoff when Khalil Dorsey made a play right from the beginning, and then it felt like they were just ready to play from the beginning. What's your first takeaway just from the first quarter?
First quarter, I do think, obviously we had that kind of go up 7-0 quick, the Amon-Ra touchdown. It was kind of exciting just to be able to kind of get back into things. I wasn't really, and I don't know how anyone in the chat kind of feels about this, I did have that feeling where you could tell it was a little bit of rust. You know, that whole first half, it was like a little rust, but it's like, hey, we're back. Football is back. But right away, if you watch the stream too, I yelled it out there, first touchdown, Amon-Ra St. Brown plus 1,000, and I had that, gave it out to everybody.
Book it.
If you're watching the stream, you're welcome if you put it on. But I threw that out there, and that's what happened. Obviously, the Jahmyr Gibbs slip right away was like, oh no, what's going on? That was set it up for the touchdown.
He was good. That was going to be a touchdown.
Imagine that. Very first touchdown of the Detroit Lions season is a Jahmyr Gibbs touchdown after he gets taken 12th overall.
Insanity.
That is insane. But that's kind of the first quarter. I mean, I just kind of felt like it was a little rust, even though we scored. The defense. Can I talk about this real quick? When they went up 14-7, you could tell that it was the rust was there for that defense and Aaron Glenn in the secondary. It was a fresh secondary.
Yeah.
Because they just gave up 2 or 3 big plays and
there were miscommunications. You knew something was off. There was a bad read or something where the guy was just way too wide open than we would imagine.
In verse like a team like Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs, you give up 2 or 3 plays, that's 14 points.
That's it.
And you're down quick 7. But I think the turning point kind of in that first quarter, that first half, I think we all know what it was. I don't know if that video is the one we have here. I don't know if that's one that we have.
Which one are you thinking of?
The Brian Branch pick 6. I think that is. I think it's the first one in there.
Let me see.
Or the second one.
I got it.
If you got it, Jalen. Otherwise.
But that's the turning point right there.
Oh, definitely.
When that Brian Branch pick 6 happened, that was the biggest turning point. We don't have the video. All right, no big deal. So That's though to me is like when we had that, the whole room went insane. I didn't even know how to react. To see that was Brian Branch after Jalen, which he'll talk about it in a minute, but we all talked. Brian Branch has been like the talk of the town since he started to push that C.J. Gardner-Johnson, him over to the safety, and now he became the nickel. He's been the talk of the town, and for him to get a pick six to kind of turn the game. Hold on, real quick. Let me just.
You're gonna have to go to the bathroom here.
All right, no. Honolulu Blue. No, you don't go to the bathroom. Dan Campbell, you hold it in.
I think we should go right to Jalen. After you're talking about Brian Branch, Jalen, you got a clip that's going kind of viral for picking Brian Branch, not only as MVP of this game, but you were talking all pro and some big awards down the line. But, dude, he showed out. How do you feel about that performance?
I feel great. I feel awesome. I knew it was going to happen. I had no doubt. 32 all the way. I made a tweet saying to shake the room up. And that's what he did, like he's a ball, he's a dog. He caught that one hand, by the way, too. That wasn't a two-hand interception. He caught it, with the right falling backwards. It was a pretty crazy catch, though. But I knew it was happening. Once he got the shot, when he was gonna play, he was gonna make a difference. I was never worried about Brian Branch. 1-800 Brian Branch. That's the number. You call that number, he's gonna answer it every time. Trust me. But I was never worried. You seen what I said. I stand on that. 10 toes, boots in the mud every time.
Let's go. And Detroit Germ, and you mentioned Germ because I got something to say about the Lions, Germ. Thanks so much for your member for Woodward Sports for 4 months. Lions Super Bowl champs, baby, in Las Vegas. I love it. You got this name that I got to bring up because there was one turning point. I'd say it happened a little earlier in the game where Dan Campbell really showed off his cojones. His cojones. Within his own 20-yard line.
I didn't even realize that happened either.
They got to be...
Because no other coach in the entire league would ever consider doing something like this.
I had no clue that happened.
It took some monster balls. He goes for a fake punt, 4th and 2 within the 20-yard line in his own zone against the Chiefs on opening night in Arrowhead. Craziness, right? Nope. Snaps it to Germ. Jalen Reeves-Maben, newly named special teams captain, comes through on day one. You gotta love it. And that was he's playing the position on special teams. We lost C.J. Moore with the gambling suspension and the same when Jameson Williams got caught.
Shout out.
Right when that all happened,
bets.
C.J. Moore was one of those. He had just signed a 2-year contract. He was a big special teams player for them.
Was that C.J. Moore?
C.J. Moore. Jalen Reeves-Maben is back. Nick, you got something to say?
Yeah, huge cojones on that one. I don't know if anybody in the world that was watching. I think I heard first time it's ever been done, prior to getting to the 20-yard line.
Interesting.
Even it's just insane that he made that call in the first quarter at Arrowhead. If that play did not work, he'd be getting roasted absolutely everywhere.
That's probably one of those plays that they were just all they said they've been preparing for KC for 2 or 3 weeks or whatever it was. They've probably had that ready to go, and that was their, hey, in the first quarter, if we get if there's a first drive, if something comes up and we have a chance to do it, we're doing that no matter what. I don't care if we're at the 20, if we're at the 40, we're going for it no matter what, and we're going to make a statement to open the season. That was the most Dan Campbell way to open a football season that you could have.
Aggressive.
There is no other way I would want Dan Campbell to step on the field and do that. Because I said, I was the one on Wednesday that said I want Dan Campbell to not out-coach Andy Reid, but go coach his game and don't lose us the game. Obviously, if you don't do that, it puts you in a bad spot. But what did I say? I want Dan Campbell to be Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we won versus the Packers. That's the reason why we're in the position we are, is because he's Dan Campbell. So you can complain about it. You can do all that all you want. No. Keep doing that.
He's being himself, and that's what he lets his players be himself too.
Yes.
Coach Walk, you're right on the money. He had 3 quarters to recover if that went wrong.
Exactly.
Obviously, you don't want to give up points to Mahomes, but you got 3 quarters to recover.
That too, to me, I don't know. I could be so wrong with this. That to me just shows that the confidence that he has in his players.
That's where I was going next.
Even with that, the players on the opposite side, they're going to have they're going to want to play for him that much more because they know that he has that confidence in him. It's so I wish there was a bet that we could all make where it's once a week that Dan Campbell goes for it on a 4th down. I wish there was a bet that every single game he's going to do it.
Make it up, Booner.
What is it?
Make it up.
I will. Maybe Spencer Sports, Spenny Sports Books. And we do got a special guest here. Can we do that? Can you talk? Are we?
Yeah.
While he gets the mic up, let me tell you about For the Love of College Football.
Tell us about tomorrow.
Because it's the Woodward Sports For the Love of College Football pregame show. Spencer Rackster, Flannel Sam, Easy, who you're about to see on screen, and many more will get you pumped up every Saturday morning from 8:30 to 10 a.m. on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Whether you're a Sparty, a Wolverine, go blue, or a fan of that other team down south, we welcome you to love your Saturday with Woodward Sports. Easy Man.
Special guest.
This is Speakeasy from the Woodward Heavyweights. Airs 5 to 7 every single night on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Can I throw something out there?
I'm honored, boys. And congratulations, by the way. Well deserved. I'm proud of all you guys in this room right now.
This is our first guest on our show.
Thanks, pal.
Right?
This is.
We've never had a guest on the show.
Number one.
This,
Yeah, for real.
This is, yes, you are. And let me be honest here real quick. When I started at Woodward Sports, I started the Booner Sports Show. That was my first thing I did here. Easy was my first guest.
Ooh.
I started Believe Me Later with Lucas. Easy was my first guest.
Let's go.
And now on Woodward Nights, live, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10. Easy's my first guest. Let's go.
Let's go.
How are you feeling about that? I know you just did a show from 5 to 7 and kind of went over everything, but
Yeah.
kind of give the people, how are you feeling after that? You're one of the biggest Lions, Slappies, and fans I've ever met in my life.
It's truly like it sounds crazy. It's kind of like unbelievable. Like we are like living in a dream. That's the expression I
feels
like to
like.
use. I was talking to my boy Tony earlier. It just feels like I'm living in a dream. That's why like last night, I didn't allow myself to go to sleep. I'm living this moment right now. I've dreamt of this so many times. Like not just like beating a team like the Kansas City Chiefs or Patrick Mahomes, having 4 rookies help you do it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then like the part that goes beyond the dream is those 4 rookies' first night on the field, getting action. Things are looking up, man. I'm talking all my shit as a Detroit Lions fan because we can finally do it, baby.
It feels like to me, I told Broder this earlier to open the show, I feel like I died like in real life and I'm like actually like
A little bit in heaven.
like in heaven and like
Yes.
all this Lion stuff is happening and like
Yes.
like if you die you just don't know you died and I'm
Yeah.
just like everything in my life right now is going great. I'm sitting up here with these beautiful listeners watching me and like I have a
Yes.
show and the Detroit Lions just won and they're 1-0 and they're like one of the best teams in the league.
Right?
I feel like I literally died as a Lions fan and then I'm just in heaven right now and then like I just don't know it and I think this is actually happening and it is.
Yeah, it is crazy, man.
Easy, you brought up the rookies. Like, what
Yeah.
does that tell you? They all performed last night. What does that tell you about Brad Holmes and his ability to go out and find not only the talent that these players have, but to be ready for a moment like that? That speaks to the. I think all 4 of them were captains, if not 2-year captains on their respective teams.
Yeah.
Like, what an incredible eye for knowing what his team needs. What do you have to say about that?
Man, like to be honest with you, like the shout out to like everyone who's truly going like doing it is like Brad Holmes, his scouts, like his regional scout, like dude, they're amazing. They are amazing. And for Brad Holmes to have like the cojones and final say so to like make the moves to finesse around the draft to like land the guys he wants. And I've said this all the time before, but in the Defend the Den episode where he's like in the beginning of the second round, not a single pick has been made yet. Brad's like, you know what I want? I want Brian Branch and Sam Laporta. Guess who he got? Brian Branch and Sam
He
Laporta.
got both of them.
He
Called
got
his
both
shot.
of them.
And you know what he did too to get
And
Brian Branch?
he got ballsy with Branch too, because like that's a guy he thought would go a little bit earlier.
Yes.
he didn't.
And
But
you
he
know
made the
who-
move and grabbed when he was available.
Who he took him from?
Packers.
The Green Bay Packers. He
Packers.
traded up with the Green Bay Packers.
Man.
Took Brian Branch.
He keeps making these moves inside the division.
Yes.
And it's pumping out Jamison Williams. It's pumping out
Yes.
Brian Branch. I don't know what. If I'm a Vikings, Packers, or Bears GM, and I see that
they're doing no
313
more
number
trades
call,
with us. For sure, not doing any more
I'm not
trades
picking
with
up
us.
that phone.
Yeah.
But they keep doing it.
They keep doing it.
Wild.
Did we trade with the Bears ever?
No,
I
fuck the
would
Bears.
no, but I would love to trade with the Bears and just ruin their franchise.
We don't need to trade with them. We just steal their players. David Montgomery, though.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't realize until this morning when I was looking. I know Flannel said that he averaged like 3.5 yards a carry,
Yeah.
70-something yards. Like he quietly, like it's not being talked about enough what David Montgomery did last night.
I think a lot of people missed the move he did before that touchdown too. He had a little inside
Yeah.
cut and then put the shoulder down.
Sam
Yeah,
Laporta, Sam
Broder.
Laporta
Yeah.
block. You guys see that? The Sam Laporta block on that play?
Oh, it's
Yes.
incredible.
It's
That
unbelievable.
blew my mind. I mean, like, I thought he'd be a little better blocker. He looked really good. I mean, am I crazy to say great? I don't want to.
No.
Am I jumping
No,
the gun there.
You about right.
Man, how crazy! That was supposed to be like a forte of his. He looked really good doing it yesterday.
He looked like he belonged. Like he looked like an NFL player, and you don't see that. In fact, all 4 of them really did. You don't see that very often out of rookies just looking the part.
And
It's a dream.
It's
It's a
game
dream.
one. It's game one.
Game one.
For all of those guys. Brian Branch, pick 6.
Yeah.
Sam Laporta, 5 catches for 30, 40 yards. Who am I missing here?
Missing Jack Campbell and you're
Jack
missing Jameer
Campbell.
Gibbs.
First of all, Jack Campbell, before the Brian Branch interception, knocking that pass down, and then the Brian Branch interception right after. And I don't know if anyone noticed it, Jack Campbell was everywhere when he was on the field. And he's dangerous out there. He takes dudes' heads off. We said that on the stream last night. He's playing the most dangerous football out there out of everyone.
Can you imagine seeing him come down on special teams? You get a kick, you feel a kick or a punt, and he did some damage on special teams. But to see 6'5", 245 just coming, I picture Adam Sandler and the Waterboy. Just
and Jameer
absolute animal.
And Gibbs, man. Gibbs is a. Did you? I saw a report today. I don't know if I got butt crack sports or what, but it said basically that Dan Campbell just said, hey, we wanted the reason we didn't give him the touches that we wanted to was we wanted him to get a feel of the game and just kind of feel what it's like to be out on the NFL field, especially
It's a big
against the
moment,
Chiefs.
man. It's a
And
big
then
moment.
He said, now we know. Now we know what we can do, and he's going to start getting those touches. He's going to start getting a feel for the game, and the next week seems like the week that he's going to get opened up a lot more.
Broder
Did
said
you-
best on the heavyweight. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Did you see what he did on that cut? Did you see that?
Oh,
I don't know if you
He
guys
had
bet
2
that
different
touchdown,
ones that were just-
but I don't know what linebacker that was.
Oh,
He was about to 1-2 move the hell out of him.
did you see the helmet one where he just trucked someone on the sideline?
Gibbs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's his
Oh, did
first
he get
run.
the stare down?
17-yard run to in the first quarter. He lowers his shoulder on Brian Cook,
Dominated
chief safety.
him, too.
That was one of my favorite plays to start the game.
Was that the stare down?
You beat me to it.
When he was like,
I'm not remembering
recording.
the stare down, but it was one. He broke
Yeah.
a couple tackles. He did a little spin move, and then Brian Cook comes. All right, I'll lower my shoulder.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Can you stay for another segment?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Mark White. Real estate, because when you're buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. Sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? Well, that's exactly what you can do with Mark White and Associates' offer of the minute-by-minute listing agreement by Mark White and Associates. So why don't you try Mark White's risk-free minute-to-minute listing agreement today? Looking to buy or sell real estate? Visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. That's markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Mark.
Glorious to Nick.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. So smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Check us out online at www.gloriouscanna.com.
And we're back.
Here we go.
Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. We're rolling, man, just like the Lions last night.
Yes, sir.
That was so fun. That was so fun. Now that they're 1-0, though, does that make you more confident? How do you feel? We talked Wednesday about what would happen. How would we react if they end up 1-0 and beating the Chiefs? Now we got Seattle coming to town. Could we be 2-0? And if that happens, and I'm going to pose this question to all of you guys, if that happens, what do you feel? Do you think we're contenders? Like, how far can we go now? Booner, to you first.
I want to put this here real quick.
Put it here.
Right now, after beating the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead, the Detroit Lions are already contenders, and I think the whole world got to see that already. And you might have all this asterisks and all this random just nonsense from national media. But no, the Detroit Lions showed last night that they can win any football game. It doesn't matter versus who, doesn't matter where. They're going to find a way to win any football game. They have the people to do it. They have the team to do it, the staff to do it, the front office to do it, the owners to do it now, the fan base to show up and come do it. The Detroit Lions are contenders now after that win. Now, the Detroit Lions come into Ford Field next week, which they will, and win this game at home because they don't lose at home. They're 2-0, and they just beat one playoff team in the NFC, and then they just beat the former champs in the Kansas City. Right away, right after that, you're the number one team in the NFC, in my opinion. Right away, you're the number one team in the NFC. If you go and beat the Seattle Seahawks at Ford Field on next Sunday, and you beat them, and you show that you are legit 2-0, you are number one. You are the team to beat in the NFC after that. I don't see how you're not. And if you try and tell me that, oh no, Booner, you're just a slappy. No, this is coming from the other side of it, to where I'm looking at it as a football perspective. If I wasn't a fan of any team in the NFL and I just saw this Detroit Lions team do that, and then I see them do this to the Seattle Seahawks after, every single team in football is scared of you after that. There's not a team that's not going to go into a game and not be feared of you. Yeah.
You got to imagine if they start 2-0, there's a pathway to 7-0 before we have a face-off with the Ravens in Baltimore. Can you imagine them starting 7-0, maybe even 8-0? They got the Raiders coming home Monday Night Football the week after. Nick, what would you say if the Lions walk out of Ford Field next Sunday, a week from this Sunday, 2-0?
Yeah, 2-0 would be crazy. I don't think there's any chance in hell that the Seattle Seahawks come into Ford Field and get that win. There's not a chance. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. We're going to break records. We're going to break the record for the loudest stadium. This team and this city have been waiting so damn long for this. My confidence level was at a 7 out of 10 prior to Kansas City. It's full-blown 10 out of 10. We're coming for everybody, and we're coming for their neck.
Let's go, Nick. Easy, are you worried about the structure at Ford Field damaging from all the vibration, the eruption from the decibels reaching crazy levels?
Sheila got the bread. She redid the turf just this offseason. She gonna fix that. We don't care. Bring the noise, guys. You are part of this change. Detroit Lions fans, every time Dan Campbell's got a microphone in front of his face and he's talking about this turnaround, this team, he brings up your fans. Sheila Ford-Hamp had a one-on-one with Dan Miller, and she mentioned her business friend. She asked for advice. He said, you know what? You need something. What was the word? You said it earlier.
A noble cause.
You need a noble cause.
First and foremost,
what did Sheila Ford-Hamp pick? Detroit. The city of Detroit. That's why she politic. They have the draft here next year. I'm sure there's going to be a Super Bowl coming soon too. We know a playoff game's coming. But she's sitting around the city of Detroit, and the fans, and that's you guys, bro. That's you guys. We're part of this, bro. I swear.
Hey, Justin, shout out Justin for tuning in.
Oh, Justin.
I love Justin, but he said,
love you, man.
Hey, I just hope the Lions keep winning so we can keep seeing these easy celebration dances.
Dude, do we have?
That was unbelievable.
Are we able to play any of the reaction videos where we can see Easy's dance moves, or are those the ones we're not able to right now?
No, we're
I guess
gonna get one.
There was one in the heavyweights chat. I don't know if that one will help.
He was doing the same move, but this one may be shorter, so let's try it.
All right, let's see. This is Easy's reaction. Terry Foster.
Terry's
that
a
clip,
fan of Easy.
That clip happened during our live stream, which was absolutely epic last night. Booner, can you tell people next Sunday, not this Sunday, next Sunday when we have it again?
Well, actually, tomorrow, college football live stream. There's nothing better in the fall.
Good call.
Then watching hours of college football, pro football. Just sit back, crack open a cold one, line up some bets with Booner Bets and Woodward Bets. Small tomorrow as well. But with your favorite Woodward sports personalities, make sure that you start tuning in. Tomorrow we will be live. I believe tomorrow will be at 3:30 for Michigan and the Michigan State game. But next Sunday we'll be live. Next Saturday we will be live. Every single Michigan State Lions game, we will be live on the Woodward Sports Network for the live game day watch parties.
Gotta have it. Jalen, are you excited for Seattle to come to town?
Not worried.
Not worried at all.
I don't feel a thing.
They got a pretty high-powered offense with Geno Smith, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Devon Witherspoon.
They can bring the 12th man, the 50th man, Sierra. I don't care. Bring them all. I don't care. I don't feel anything.
My goodies.
I'm not. I would not tell a single lie in this booth. I might, but I haven't yet. But
you've been pretty money.
We're gonna win next week or the week after next. I'm not worried, man. Like DK Metcalf, our secondary can contain him now. I believe. We had a cool on him last year, so that wasn't the best thing. But I just feel like we'll be at home. First home game after beating the Chiefs. Jahmyr Gibbs will get more touches. Brian Branch is playing. That's all that matters. But anyway, I'm not worried, bro. Go Lions, one pride.
And two, let's think about this, fellas. The right now, last year our defense was 32nd in the NFL. Yesterday it showed out that they could look like a top 15 defense, top 12, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was week one. They were rusty. They were all new together. Next week, you have a whole week to be able to watch film, fix things, fix mistakes. Aaron Glenn's going to go cook up some more. Aiden Hutchinson had 0 sacks yesterday. He had 6 pressures.
He was
3
an animal.
quarterback hits. And he had that whole dude with the whatever that right tackle, that guy that was over there messing him up the whole time. Next week, these guys are going to eat. Maybe we can even get Emmanuel Mosley back next week. Who knows? But this defense is going to take that net. They're going to keep taking steps every single week. And that's what's going to make them one of the best teams in the NFL. I promise you, after this week, the Detroit Lions, if they're going to win this game, and they're going to be the number 1 team in the NFC, and they're going to be a top 5 team looked at in the NFL after this game versus Geno Smith and this Seahawks team. They're going to take care of business. This defense, that secondary is so scary. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, no one... I'm gonna throw this out here because everyone's been talking about Brian Branch. We love Brian Branch. Yeah. He's had the pick 6. No one's really talking about what C.J. Gardner-Johnson did last night.
Oh, we were
maybe you guys didn't. I tuned out when I did, but
we showed some love. It's getting overshadowed.
That man came out day one in the Detroit Lions, and he is the heart of that defense, in my opinion. He came out, he had like 5 or 6 solo tackles, didn't miss a tackle, putting big hits on. He was everywhere on the field. He made sure that he made his presence known, and I think he is going to be that dude on defense for the Detroit Lions.
Dude, did you get to see him in the locker room after the game, what he was saying?
I didn't hear what he said.
Dude, it was pretty epic. I think we got the video.
I love CJ.
Jalen's about to throw up. It's that energy he brings, and
it's different.
He's got this winning mentality that he's going to tell you about right here.
Yeah. Maybe they all haven't been a part of that like this. This wouldn't mean that this ain't the same Detroit. I keep reiterating that, bro. Like, from the joint practices to all the other practices, winners know what winners look like. This team is full of winners. And being on a team that's been successful, I'm just happy to be a part of guys who want to play ball and go out there and get the W. No matter what, who out on the field, what's on the clock, who on the other side, these guys gonna fight. Shit, we all gonna fight.
Let's go, dude. Courtesy of Eric Woodward, ESPN reporter covering the Detroit Lions. Winners know what winners look like, and this team is full of winners.
Yep. And he just...
Goosebumps, baby. That gave me goosebumps.
That made me smile. I put a big-ass smile on my face.
Yeah. I think he might be my favorite player on this.
Real recognize real.
Real recognize real. Booner.
Yep.
He's got this talent on defense that just it keeps everything away. It keeps people out. Just kind of like Guardian Alarm.
Yes, let me tell you real quick about Guardian Alarm. Let Guardian Alarm offer you a customized solutions for real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us any day or night. That is Guardian Alarm, that is. And not Booner. Don't call Booner. And know that Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as you need it. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have proven to take care. Make sure you call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Are you a diehard college football fan? Well, it's your lucky day. Join special WSN guests like Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam, and more every Saturday. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Saturdays and tune in live from 8:30 to 10 a.m.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. You can experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, or go online at fairwaypacking.com.
Quick cheers for the boys real quick. Everyone have a drink. Cheers to the damn Detroit Lions, baby!
Booner!
Let's go.
So beautiful. It tastes so good.
I think
this is all I can drink on a show, I think, for the next, 6 months. I just had to keep buying Detroit Lions Kool-Aid.
Until they lose.
Yeah.
So
the sweatshirt,
18 straight weeks.
Yeah.
God, can we talk about this, everyone? I know the chat, I've said it before. Last year when the Lions were winning, I had to keep wearing that Trey Flowers jersey.
Yeah.
Broke it. I didn't wear the Trey Flowers jersey and we won, so I don't have to wear that again.
Yeah, you should dump that.
Yeah, I'm happy. I just realized that. Man, my face looks just so pale right now on this camera. I don't know.
Pasty.
It's the white balance. You gotta fix after the show.
Ghost mode.
Hey, shout out to this chain is hard, Booner.
Thank you.
Where'd you get this thing?
From my jeweler.
Oh, okay.
It's about
I gotta get one.
chain. I have the same jeweler as CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Okay. That's what's up.
So let me know if you need one. Any of the listeners, anyone needs a chain, let me know. I can hook you up. I can't pay for it, but I can hook you up.
And on your journey to finding that chain, A, hit that like button, and B, we've opened the phone lines. So give us a call. I want to ask you about this poll we just put up, best secondary threat. Who are some of these guys that stood out into the game? We'll talk about Kansas City if you want, maybe Seattle. Call in with any Detroit Lions questions, comments, or concerns you have. The number, which is posted or will be posted in the chat, is 313-552-6322. Again, 313-552-6322.
Give us a call. I'm excited. We haven't done calls on the show yet, so I'm pumped to be able to do so. I don't know if that's still the pinned message anymore.
It is.
Is it still up there?
Pick up the phone, baby.
It is pinned. While we wait for someone to call in, easy to you. Who you excited about in the secondary? Who's the biggest threat? We got CJ Gardner-Johnson, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, or Cam Sutton.
Who's the biggest, who I'm most excited about?
Yeah, interpret as you please. Who would maybe you don't want to be covering you if you were going out on a post route?
CJ GJ.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, not only is he a ball hawk, but he brings the boom. I think that's a forgotten part of his game. If you didn't think that was a part of his game, just think about how hard Isaiah Pacheco ran throughout that playoff run last year. And you didn't see that out of him yesterday.
No.
I think CJ GJ might have taught him a lesson.
I think he might have been scared. He saw CJ
he knew CJ GJ was on that field alongside with them. We didn't see the ultra-aggressive Isaiah Pacheco yesterday. It was not just in his ball hawking skills too. Like people want to talk about the drop passes from the the Chiefs.
Kadarius Toney.
Yeah. Okay. How about the fumble we had? How about the dropped interception CJ had? But just another point to the fact that he's a ball hawk. Yeah, it's a straight dropped interception.
He probably could have had 2 yesterday.
Two of them. And CJ's the best.
He is everywhere.
Yes.
He is literally everywhere, and he doesn't miss tackles. It's kind of like, honestly, like, I can't believe the fact that we have Brian Branch to be able to learn from CJ.
That's what I was literally just thinking.
That is insane because Brian Branch is a very, very similar player. He literally is a ball hawk. He's everywhere. He knows the right spots to be in, and he doesn't miss tackles either.
And like too, like I feel like he's going to be given, on top of his hunger for like just falling to the second round alone, an extra hunger from just like learning from CJ, who just got kind of pooped on by the free agency market.
Yeah.
And no one really wanted to pay him. But now Brian Branch knows, okay, I have to go twice as hard because we're falling back in running back territory. This guy led the league last year and didn't get a bag.
Yeah, and I mean, he played 12 games. You could have made an argument that he was an All-Pro player last year.
Mm-hmm.
He could have easily made an All-Pro team last year in 12 games. You let him play that many 17 games here. I said this the other day when we did our All-Pro projection for the Lions. That was my pick, CJ.
Yeah.
Because if he plays 17 games, he's going, like yesterday, that was an All-Pro game. Like, that's going to be one of the best games you see out of a safety all weekend.
And imagine if his stat line at the end of the game had 2 interceptions to it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's crazy. I don't know who I'm more excited to for CJ to mentor, Brian Branch or Kirby Joseph. Like, CJ is an elite nickel and an elite safety. It's bizarre. Did you know, and I know we have a caller, we're going to go to him in 1 second. Quick little fact. You know, Brian Branch, I don't know if you noticed his legs were showing. Like, he wasn't wearing socks.
Yeah.
You know, he gets fined. His first fine's like $5,150 for not wearing socks, for showing skin. And it goes up, it triples each game he does it.
I've got skin showing here today.
I've got a feeling he's going to be wearing socks next game.
Oh, no, that's a rookie mistake.
Crazy, right? He's going to be wearing socks. You can't just give away that kind of money.
I wonder if
did he wear them in college?
I
you
don't
can't
know,
get
actually.
fined in college, so you
can
wear whatever probably.
Maybe he just doesn't like the way they feel. That's weird, yeah.
But I hear we have a call on the line. Nick, who do we got?
To lead off, Woodward Knights calls. Shout out Scott from Grand Rapids. Scott, you're on air.
Scott, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Yes, I can.
What's up, Scott? How are you?
Are you
good? How are you guys doing?
I can hear. You cannot hear?
I can't. We'll figure it out, but you talk to Scott.
I'm doing Scott. Tell us what you're thinking here, Scott. How are you feeling about the game yesterday?
Oh, man, I'm so pumped up. I couldn't sleep last night. Got a question for you guys.
Let's hear it.
With CJ's performance, do you think we resign him next year to a long-term contract?
That's a great question. Did you hear that?
Can you repeat? I heard the beginning.
Scott asked if with his performance last night, do you think that the Detroit Lions will re-sign CJ Gardner-Johnson to a long-term contract after his that's a great question, Scott.
Phenomenal.
Appreciate that question. Appreciate you giving us a call as well.
I would love it.
Yeah, of course.
I would love it. I mean, CJ Gardner-Johnson, I think he's someone you can build around. It just depends on how expensive he is. Like, if he keeps playing how he's been playing, he's going to cost a lot.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you have a guy like Brian Branch in the back, Scott. I don't know if you're still here, but like you have a guy like Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, who are on rookie deals. So
exactly. One of my other thoughts is I don't know exactly when Tracy Walker's contract up, but do they decide between Tracy Walker or CJ Gardner-Johnson?
That's a great question. I think if you had to pick between one or the other, obviously it is CJ. I think it comes down to the pricing, though. I don't know what Tracy's contract is. I'm going to look that up real quick. That's a great question.
I do know they respect Tracy a lot, and he's a guy. He's still fighting his coming back from his Achilles injury, and he did get pushed to the second unit. But that's because of the emergence of Brian Branch, not necessarily because he's tapering off. Dude, thank you so much for the call. That was awesome, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, Scott. Great call.
Yeah, of course, man. I love watching this stuff.
Where are you calling from, actually, real quick?
Grand Rapids, Michigan. A little town called Caledonia.
Love from Grand Rapids. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much. Easy, I want to get your opinion real quick.
Yes,
I know you're about to go, but Booner, real quick, tell them about the Lions post-game show.
Real quick, Tracy Walker, contract's up in 2024, so he has one more year after this.
Okay.
$8 million a year. I mean, I think if I'll tell you guys real quick about here. Lions post-game show. If you guys didn't tune in yesterday, Lions post-game show was incredible. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Stick is there as well. We'll be hosting our Lions post-game show after every Lions game all season long. Tune in the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for the hot off-the-press takes. There were calls last night, drinking Kool-Aid celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Maz with a bunch of different special guests. Stick, Anson was there yesterday. Our own Nick was on the phones yesterday in the sound booth helping out. Great show. Make sure you guys tune into that post-game show.
It was incredible.
Check it out.
I do want to, with that Tracy Walker thing, that's a great question. I don't want to get too into it too much, though, because we want to celebrate. We want to celebrate this win from last night still. But Tracy Walker has 1 year left on his contract. If C.J. Gardner-Johnson does what he did last night, every single game, and what he did last year, I want that man in the Honolulu Blue for the next 3 or 4 years. I want him. I want Kirby Joseph, and I want Brian Branch. I want that. I want 2 safeties, and I want our nickel. If we could run with that for the next 3 or 4 years on this Lions defense and figure out a way to pay them, easy. That's one of the best secondaries, if not in the next 3 years, the best in the NFL.
And the crazy thing is, I mean, Brad Holmes stays cooking. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to continue to add more to this.
I want it.
I mean, like, his first draft pick was defensive end or defensive tackle. Next pick, defensive tackle. He don't care.
He gets
the following draft class, Aiden Hutchinson. Next pick, Josh Pascal. He don't care. He don't care he drafted Brian Branch this year. He said that and then defended then. He's like, I'm drafting football players. He's going to continue to grab maybe Emmanuel Mosley that you want to look to replace too. I mean,
this isn't the same Detroit, he said in that interview.
Yeah, he went and got Hendon Hooker in the third round, like when we have a quarterback.
They're building for the future, but we got another caller on the line. Nick, who do we got?
Yes, sir. We are going to go to Wayne in Lincoln Park. Wayne, our second caller here on Woodward Nights. You're live.
Wayne in Lincoln Park. Are you numb from last night's game?
How are we feeling?
I'm so happy, man. I'm the happiest person in the universe right now, man.
Let's go. What was your favorite part of the game last night, or what do you remember the most?
What I remember the most is when Brian Branch got that pick 6, because I was reading the play the whole time. I thought he was going to step up and come in front of Tony, but he stayed in back, and then he missed the catch. That's when he got the pick. Yeah. But what I wanted to ask you guys,
please,
do you guys think that one of the wide receivers that played in the preseason, should they step up? Like all the wide receivers that played in the preseason was good wide receivers, like Chase Coda, Antonio Green. Like, should they take Marvin Jones out and put one of them in, because they much of a threat than Marvin? I'm not trying to down Marvin Jones, but Marvin Jones is I feel like, me personally, I feel like he's a veteran, so he's a lot washed up with these young guys. Like, he can barely run with these young guys. Then the rookies like Chase Coda, Dylan, what's his name?
Dylan Drummond out of Eastern Michigan University.
Antoine Green.
It is a great question, and I think Marvin didn't have his best game, and I think he'd probably admit to that. I don't think, and I know you didn't say he's washed up. I don't think he's as bad as everyone's saying. He's a very reliable receiver. It's a tough fumble to lose.
There's 2 parts to it as well that I look at it for Marvin Jones. Is the first one obviously is he's a veteran player. He's obviously the oldest wide receiver in the NFL right now. He knows that he had a bad game, and I'm sure he would be one of the first ones to say, I need to be better. And I think he will get better. Last year in Jacksonville, he was on a playoff team, and he made plays for them. And I'm sure he had a couple mistakes like he did last night. I think he's going to be better. And the second part of it, too, to me, is when Jameson Williams comes back, obviously he kind of steps into that role, and he's going to be learning from Marvin Jones. As much as maybe if someone might not like what Marvin Jones did last night, Jameson Williams is going to learn so much from Marvin Jones. He is the oldest wide receiver in the league right now. So the knowledge that he's going to be able to give him, and Marvin was a dog. Marvin was a dog when he was at his peak.
Yeah.
So to be able to learn from a guy like that, and then you still have a Kelvin Johnson who's going to be probably around the guys at some point, learning from Jamo, Jamo learned
And he's somebody Jared Goff trusts.
I do get it though. The first 4 weeks, all right, you see that last night. But
I wouldn't be down on Marvin Jones, Wayne. I think he's somebody like Josh Reynolds that Jared Goff trusts. I will say, though, I did want to see Antoine Green in the game last night. He's the one of those rookies that, our 7th-round draft pick. He suited up last night, so I thought we were going to see some action. Without Jamison Williams, and when Gibbs was off the field, it seemed like the Lions were missing some explosion, missing that element of the game where anyone who touches the ball, you can take it to the house.
That's true, actually. Yeah, the only kind of deep balls and everything that we saw was to Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, and even them, they were like 20, 25-yard curls or post routes where it wasn't even a deep route. He caught it, and his yards after the catch, he showed us something there running after the catch. We are going to take a little break, but we got someone on the line, so we are going to get back.
Appreciate you calling in as well.
To taking callers.
Call in anytime. That was awesome.
What do we got? Planet Fitness is what I'm going to tell you about. I'm actually a Planet Fitness Black Card owner because they're the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. They are here to help you build a lasting, active lifestyle. It costs $9.99 for a normal membership, $24.99 for a Black Card. You got access to over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses around the country. They got massage beds. They got tanners. They got all kinds of machines. My favorite part of Planet Fitness is it's so damn clean. Every time I go there, there's people making sure that all the equipment's cleaned off. I love it. Check out Planet Fitness. For more information or to join today, visit your local Planet Fitness or www.planetfitness.com, where your fitness is essential.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Have you ever argued with your little brother? How about some random guy you're stuck in a room with for an hour? Flannel Sam and Spencer Raxter are at each other's throats. One Spartan alumni and one Walmart Wolverine are locked in a room with nowhere to hide. You're welcome. Whether it's go blue or go green, you can go to woodwardsports.com for all the action. Coming soon to a device near you.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Woodward Sports' own 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, and Woodward Sports' own Braylon Edwards, Biletnikoff winner, Pro Bowler, New York Jet, #3 overall draft pick, the dude out of the University of Michigan, Braylon Edwards. How would you like to see them play with average Joes? Thank you to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports. You will be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour, so make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports for more.
We are back.
We are back, Woodward Knights.
Here we go. Do we have another caller here? We're going to keep taking calls. Make sure you guys call in. The number is 313-552-6322. If you guys want to call in, just talk anything Detroit Lions. We're gonna take this last caller or another caller here, and then we're gonna kind of get into some more stuff. I think after this we'll get into some same old Lions stuff because I do have some stuff to talk about. I want to get off my chest from that. But make sure real quick, like the stream here. We're at 97 likes. We've got over 200 people watch. If you guys could all like the stream, let's get to 125. But Nick, who do we have here on the line?
We have Rashid in Detroit. Rashid, you're live.
Rashid in Detroit. What's up, man? How are you doing?
How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, doing great. Let us know. How are you feeling about that win yesterday in Kansas City?
And I'm super ecstatic. I can't even lie.
Yes.
You know, it was kind of like, heart wrenching when took the lead before the half. Shout out my guys. He was spot on with that Brian Branch, dark horse selection, and just for him to get that pick 6 in his first game was just otherworldly.
otherworldly. He was an animal out there.
Yeah.
So I got to ask, with Brian Branch having that game, which of the other rookies stood out to you? We got Jack Campbell played a little bit on defense. Jameer Gibbs played some running back. And then we had Sam Laporta. It was 5 targets, 5 receptions for 39 yards. What do you think?
Yeah, so, I can't even single out a single rookie just because they all played their parts to a T.
Love that.
Like, I know Montgomery, he was more of the workhorse, more of the ball carrier for the game. But, that's pretty much optimal for, like, rookies and, like, easing their way into the NFL. But for the experience that Jameer presented, I'm excited for this season.
That's
I
awesome.
love it. Yeah, I think the rookie class, I mean, everyone, when Brad Holmes drafted this rookie class, was a little skeptical. Jameer Gibbs, after seeing him yesterday, we know what he can do. Jack Campbell stepped up, made plays. Sam Laporta made plays. Brian Branch. Every single rookie in the first 2 rounds made a play. Not one did it. Obviously, maybe these later round ones we didn't really get to see a ton out of, if anything. But being able to just see some of these dudes kind of come out and perform, that is what I'm excited about. Do we have any
No callers right now, but I agree with you. Just seeing these rookies kind of mold the way we wanted them to, and we have such high expectations for Brad Holmes right now. It's like, unwrapping that Christmas present that you've been waiting for 2, 3, 4 months after the draft, and we finally get to see him, and now we get to see him develop, which is I'm so excited for because we know they will. It's not really too big of a question mark. We know these guys are going to become super high upside talents.
It was game 1 from this rookie class.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have gone. They obviously didn't like Brian. It couldn't have gone any better. If I'm being completely honest, for those guys.
Just got to say thank you to that last caller. We appreciate those questions. That was awesome.
Shout out Detroit, man.
Shout out Detroit.
Yeah.
As we were talking, Coach Walk asked a pretty good question I think we should roll with real quick. Is this Brad Holmes' best draft class?
That's a great question.
He's had some good ones.
That is a great question. I mean, I think you still wait, right? Don't you have to wait like a year to kind of see how some of these guys kind of get into it? I mean, obviously we saw what Brian Branch did yesterday and what Jameer Gibbs can do, but I want to see kind of a full season because, I mean, you still have Aiden Hutchinson. You want to see what J-Mo, you got to see at the end of the year what J-Mo does. Give him that chance, but I want to be able to wait and see. But when you get 4 first-round guys in the first 2 rounds, that's what you want to see.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Let me tell you about our college football stream because Woodward Sports, for the love of college football pregame show, is happening again tomorrow. We got Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam, Easy, and many more to get you pumped up.
Yes,
Every
sir.
Saturday
Right
morning
now.
from 8:30 to 10 a.m. on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Whether you're a Sparty, a Wolverine, go blue, or a fan of that other team down south, we welcome you to love your Saturday with Woodward Sports.
And Coach Walk, again, 4 potential starters in this class. That right there puts you that could be the number 1 class that he had. And who would have thought that this was the class that was going to do it, especially the day after the draft.
Imagine you could have the future starting quarterback, could have
That's
the future
true.
right guard or left guard or right tackle. Colby Sorsdale can play them all, except maybe center.
I love that guy, man. He signed my hat.
He signed your hat at training camp? That's awesome. He and Broderick Martin, another one, they got some big personalities. They're fun guys. It's we talk a lot about culture, and we kind of think of Jack Campbell, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, like serious or loud, all this energy. Broderick Martin and Colby Sorsdale are funny. They're good guys.
Oh, it seems like a lot of these guys on this team, that's what Brad Holmes has brought in, is just football guys who are team guys. I want to pose this question to the room a little bit here and in the chat too.
Yes.
Is after seeing this defense here, and we'll do this for the next 7 minutes here until break, after seeing this defense last night versus a guy like Patrick Mahomes, could this be a top 10 defense, top 12 defense in the NFL? Dead serious, is that potential there? Or is there all right, let's pump our brakes a little bit. We just were 32nd, but the additions they've added, Aaron Glenn kind of stepping up and being that guy hopefully for the full season, making these different adjustments. Can they easily be a top 10 defense here?
Easily that's a tough
Maybe
word
not
to
easily.
agree to.
Potential, that was the word.
Potentially, they absolutely could.
Potential.
They absolutely could. They got playmakers, and they got consistent role players at each level of that defense.
Yep.
And I think there's so much they could improve on from last night, but they still played well. They still played tough. They still made the key plays when they needed to. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, he was the reason Aiden Hutchinson didn't have 5 or 6 sacks. He was in the backfield all day long. We saw John Kaminsky playing well, and actually the highest rated defensive player on both teams.
John Kaminsky.
Ali McNeil.
Oh, Ali McNeil.
Ali
really?
McNeil, which
he did a good job. Like, that was something we needed. He did a good job just stopping the run, just kind of filling up that middle.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Patrick Mahomes got away a couple times, but that really, it didn't seem like that was like an Ali McNeil problem. It seemed like that was more so just Patrick Mahomes being Patrick Mahomes.
100%. That's what I like to say.
What do you do for that?
What about you, Nick?
Yeah, I 100% think we can sneak into the back end of that top 10 for 2 reasons. We showed up in the second half last night. 2 things that stood out to me. Playing time for James Houston lined up next to Hutchinson.
Ooh, that was nice.
That's when the pressure started getting to him a little bit more.
Too.
That's all I want to see is Houston getting the snaps with it. The second thing, a lot more of Jack Campbell. And I think as he progresses, this defense will go with it.
Jalen, to you, buddy.
100%. I think we'll be like a top 10 defense. I say that too because we're undersized a little bit, but we have hard hitters. IQ's very high. Legion of Boom, like, I don't want to make the comparison, but you can see, like, small, like, glimpses of that too. You got a hard hitter, Cam Chancellor, Brian Branch. You got a Sherman, you on the side, you can Cam Sutton maybe if they get there, Jerry Jacobs, Brandon Browner.
I like
and Earl
that.
Thomas you can use for, like, Curb or something like that, you know what I mean? So it's just it's baby steps right now, man. Like, if we can get there and they mature and stuff like that, we'll be fine. I have no worries about that because we're a young secondary. Like, it can happen. Just be patient.
Think about it too. I said this preseason on the heavyweights one time. If you can actually, realistically, you don't have to be top 10. If you could put out a top 15, maybe top 17 defense, and you have this top 5 offense, and you have this offense that we already know can make plays, you add JMO to it, instantly right there, if you have a top 5, top 10 offense and a top 15 defense, you're contending to win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
Instantly. Like, I went through it when I was on the morning show. I went through the list of the teams last year who were top 15 in both, and there was only like a handful. I think there was like 2 or 3 teams who were top 15 in both. Last year you have a top 5 offense. If you can just do top 10 this year, and then you can get that defense into the top 15, you're in a group of some very, very select teams in the NFL. You're in a group of like 3 or 4 different teams. That's where you want to be. Kansas City Chiefs being one, who you just beat. So if you could be a top 15 defense and just be average, just hold it down, which I think this defense could be more.
I think so too.
I really, really do think that this defense could be a lot more than
and I liked
15.
where you were going with the offense, because the way this new offense is constructed and what we saw last night, if they keep pounding it with David Montgomery and eating up that clock, controlling the game, controlling the time of possession throughout the entire game, that just means that defense is going to be that much more fresh, that much more aggressive and energetic. That excites me. Can you imagine a rested C.J. Gardner-Johnson coming in and Brian Branch coming in to lay the wood?
Yeah,
I think
Mosley.
that offense game plan has a lot to do with the success of the defense. I know we got one more caller on. Someone called Nick. Can you patch through who we going to be talking to?
Yeah, we have Alan from California. Alan, you are live on Woodward Nights.
California. How you doing tonight?
Shout out Cali.
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Where are you at in California? Where's the on the map? Where are you at there?
Huntington Beach. You know it?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Huntington Beach, baby.
I've never been to California,
Yeah.
so
I had a nice 4th of July party out there a couple years ago.
Yeah. Nice place.
It's nice. So you're a Lions fan. What was it like watching the game out in California? Are you excited today?
Oh, please. I mean, I grew up in Windsor, so yeah, so I've always been. What's that?
I just said, okay, you grew up in Windsor. Yeah, you're right down the road.
Yep.
Yeah, across the border.
Yeah.
Anyhow, why did you guys say you were skeptical about the Lions draft?
Could you repeat that question one more time? I'm sorry.
Did you guys say you were skeptical about the Lions draft?
Oh, no. Did we say we're skeptical of the Lions draft?
No, at the time. You said at the time of the draft.
At the time, it felt like a lot of people when getting running back at 12, going for a linebacker there at 18 with Jack Campbell. And then you go tight end with Sam Laporta. Obviously, Brian Branch was the one that everyone loved, but it seemed like there was majority of Detroit Lions fans were a little not super skeptical. I feel like everyone still believed in Brad Holmes, but just more so like, all right, this is very odd and different from a different GM.
I don't know, but I felt it was like the media, a lot of it, the national media. Now, if I have a choice, who do you think knows more about the draft, Mel Kiper or Brad Holmes?
Oh,
I'd probably go with Brad.
Brad Holmes, and that was something I think through the whole draft that we all kind of felt like it was like, all right, we still trust in Brad, what he's doing. Let's hope it works. And now we see it has worked.
Oh, of course it worked. I mean, I knew it would work just because, look, he had 2 firsts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. You know, you almost can't go wrong when you have that high of picks.
Yep.
You know? So, yeah, I knew he had it. Yeah, and they all played well. They all played well.
They did.
Can I ask you this real quick? Because this is going to be our next topic here. Are you officially taking off the SOL stamp from the Detroit Lions? Is that gone, or where do you stand with that?
It is gone, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. You know who the most important person in an organization, in the NFL team is?
Who is it, Alan?
It's the owner.
Yes.
And Sheila's not like her parents. She brought in Chris Spielman, who knows what he's doing. You know, she's not trying to. You know, her dad was just pulling decisions out of his ass. I know, he was.
Yeah.
And the same with her mother. She's at least does. You know, she's got an advisor. She's got Rod Wood in there. You know, she's making good decisions. She's hired 2 really good people. I mean, Brad Holmes is probably the best GM in the NFL, in my opinion.
Oh.
So, you know.
I love it.
That's a great. I happen to agree with you. There's a little bias behind it, but he's done all the right things, so I can appreciate that.
Yeah, that's awesome too. That's gonna be our next topic. So I appreciate you tuning in. Man, you can call in anytime.
Thank you so much,
Great
Alan.
call. Love that.
Alan out in Huntington Beach from Windsor.
All right, take care, guys.
We appreciate it, Alan.
Well.
Let me tell you all real quick before we come back and talk about that SOL stamp. Is it still on or is it not? I tell you about the sports marketing agency, which helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, The S Word, helps fight the stigma, about seeking help. So if you or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. That's thesportsma.com.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line. Featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Do you have football on the brain? Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. It's already awesome. Fall's also a perfect time to start to shop for your home and auto insurance. So shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today. That's SwissINS.com. Or call 248-800-4177. Again, ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at SwissINS.com.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. It is victory! Victory Friday, boys. It is a beautiful Friday. Usually it's Victory Monday, but Victory Friday feels that much better. I'm going to take a sip real quick.
We got our entourage here for Victory Friday.
Victory! and this Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid right here, what's going to be our next topic here? Because I text you boys.
I'm thirsty.
And I put it in the prep here. Is the same old Lions narrative, that SOL that I hate hearing all about. Anytime I hear SOL or see it on a shirt or see it in the chat, anything like that, it makes me cringe. It's the worst thing of all time. It's the worst 3-letter word in all of sports, SOL. Is it over? That is my question I'm posing to you, because I know whether it is or not, and I'll get into it in a second. But, Broder, I want to go to you first. Can we finally move on from the same old Lions narrative and just get over it?
So our Lions, as Lions fans, we've gotten way too used to some of our star players retiring early. And I feel like this SOL phrase won't let go. It won't retire. This is the moment where we get rid of SOL. I think this team, the way this team is constructed from the top down, that's Sheila all the way down to whoever's the lowest on the totem pole, it feels different. This team is different. They're built the right way. They're built for the future. They're built for right now. It's sort of hard to explain, but there's something in the air that sort of proves that the tables have turned. I know Maz has talked before about how some of the luck has started to turn. We were terrified when C.J. Gardner-Johnson went down on the first day of training camp. Fortunately, it was just a minor ankle injury. These things keep happening that in the past they'd maybe be serious injuries or we'd find some way to screw up that game last night, but no. We went in and we beat the defending Super Bowl champions in their home field, one of the hardest places to play in the entire NFL, and we beat them. I think it's time we move on from SOL.
I love it, Broder. And this is yesterday, like I said earlier in the show. If you watched the pregame show yesterday, there was someone that, and I'm sorry, I love every listener so much. And if you can, real quick, hit the like button. That'd be awesome. But I cannot stand seeing the SOL get put in chats. I can't stand seeing it on Twitter, Instagram, social media. I can't stand seeing it anywhere right now. Last year at the beginning of the year, yes, who cares? I don't care. 1-6, it's fair. But after going 8-2, after seeing what Dan Campbell could do, after seeing Sheila come out and talk to the media after the 1-6 start, after seeing the whole new regime, after seeing Brad Holmes, Aiden Hutchinson, Jared Goff, C.J. Gardner-Johnson come in, going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, beating Patrick Mahomes, beating Aaron Rodgers on primetime and sending him home and ending his career in Green Bay. What world are you living in if you think that they're still the same old Lions? It is a completely different ownership. It's a different front office. It's a different coaching staff. It's a different players. It's different everything. So the fact that there's still fans out there, and we get the comments all the time on Woodward Sports, we get all of that, which is fair. Freedom of speech. Get it. For sure. But if you're going to be a same old Lions fan, go be a Cleveland Browns fan, because we don't want to see any of that here in Detroit, in my opinion. I don't think anyone here in this room, I think everyone agrees with me. I think everyone in the chat agrees with me. No one cares about the same old Lions narrative ever again. We don't care. It is over. And if they would have lost that game last night, I still didn't want to hear it. Because you know what? They were out there competing, and they showed that they had heart. They had everything was going. Everything was going right and wrong for that team there last night. So I don't ever want to hear the same old line. I don't want to hear that ever again. This is a completely different regime, different ownership. Everything is different about this whole organization right now. And if you can't see that, you never will see it. And the fact that we still have the SOL people out there is disrespectful and unbelievable. I'm sorry I went on a rant. But last night, it kind of pissed me off last night when I saw that. And then after the win, I think it was very, very well that we're allowed to say that it is over. And national media is now hopping on it. Colin Collinsworth, stay off the bandwagon. We don't want you. Don't go out there and tweet and say that you've been a Dan Campbell guy since day one when you haven't been. All right.
Oh, dear.
You know the famous painter Vincent van Gogh?
I do, yeah.
You know what they told him? Told him, you could never be a famous painter. You only have one ear. You know what he responded with? I can't hear you. Dude, the Lions, they just got to put that noise out of there. That was also a quote from Gardner Minshew. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, when he was in the locker room talking about this is a new Detroit, there are winners on this team. What did he say? Winners know what winners look like. That's the stamp for me. This is a player coming from the outside in and starting this new energy.
And this comment here, Andrew Jones. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the like button. If it's different, win a playoff game. Listen, Andrew, you just went into Kansas City and won a game. That was basically a playoff game last night. That was that caliber of a game. Obviously, it wasn't a playoff game, but it was a caliber of a game to where you're on the road playing one of the best teams in the NFL. Every single team in the NFL right now probably fears playing the Detroit Lions in the playoffs. Every single organization does not want to play the Detroit Lions in the playoffs.
Nobody.
Right there shows you that it's a completely different team. This isn't the Lions from the before. If you took away the colors and the logo and all of that and you gave them the Patriots, everyone would be like, oh, this team's great. No, quit looking at the colors and the logo and all of that and the name. This is a good football team. This is a good organization right now. This is a great ownership, great coaches, great players. Get out of here with that stuff, Andrew.
I want to pregame with you. I want to watch all these pregames with you. So why don't you tell people how they can?
Yes, the Detroit Lions pregame. I think I'm losing my voice. I'm going to start sounding like Spenny. And I do have a show tomorrow morning. Everyone tune in, Woodward Bets. But the Woodward Sports Lions pregame show is returned for another season of Lions football. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafredi with special guests on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Whether you're sipping the Kool-Aid like me, cheers, or you're just screaming, the same old Lions. I can't believe that's in there, too. You will not want to miss this show live every Thursday, or not every Thursday, but Sundays right before the game and any day. If we play Monday Night Football, 2 hours before the game. Thursday Night Football, 2 hours before the game. Make sure you tune into the Detroit Lions pregame with Mr. Hollywood up there, Jeff Iafredi.
Amazing, amazing. You want to know another moment that it feels like things are changing? It feels like there's a leader of this team who's maturing. It's these comments that Dan Campbell made in the locker room. Jalen, can you play that video of him talking about his expectations of the rookies?
DC.
What do you learn about this team?
I didn't learn anything. I got verification on what I already knew. And this is a resilient team.
There we go.
It already was a resilient team, and we added pieces to that resilient team. So we're built to handle some stuff, and we did that today against a very good opponent.
Hey, Jan, can you play that one more time just so people hear the beginning?
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome.
What do you learn about this team?
I didn't learn anything. I got verification on what I already knew. And this is a resilient team. It already was a resilient team, and we added pieces to that resilient team. So we're built to handle some stuff, and we did that today against a very good opponent.
Dude, he's built different. You can see just the transformation of Dan Campbell from his first press conference to this one. He just seems so much calmer, so much more focused, confident.
Yeah.
He was in a tie, sweating his cojones off, those big ones that called for a fake punt in the first quarter. He seems to get it. And while we've all had questions, although we've been excited, we've had questions about are these rookies going to perform? Are these players ready to go? Are they ready for prime time? Dan Campbell just showed you right there. He had no concerns. The players showed him exactly what he expected. They're ready to fight. They're ready to. Nick, what do you think about that? Do you think this team's making a turn? Do you think what do you think of Dan Campbell?
Yeah, I think SOL is officially over for three things. The way they talk, as you can see from Campbell right there, the confidence is everything, and it goes through Brad Holmes to Dan Campbell. The way they communicate, it's way more confident, so that part's different. The way they walk it, they actually show it on the field. They pick up wins in big situations, like last night, of games they used to lose. 10 times out of 10, they would lose that game in the past. They found a way to win. And the way they draft and develop these players into Pro Bowl, all-pro type players, that's the three big things why SOL is officially dead.
And these coaches, like one of those things we were talking about Brad Holmes, and I think there's so much – we could talk about the coach, although maybe it's not as exciting as the players. The coaches that they built this roster out to help these young players develop. We talk about the lack of outside investment they made in the defensive line, but they brought in John Scott Jr. from Penn State. he happened to be the defensive line coach for Micah Parsons and is known for developing young teams, young defensive lines into sack machines. So although we didn't see it last night, I do chalk that up to Patrick Mahomes being Patrick Mahomes, just being an elite escape artist.
Yeah, I love the fact, too, that just like he's like I already know what these guys can do. They just confirmed, like, last night when he says that, it pumps me up because you know that they're bringing the right guys in. This team's kind of it's heading in the right direction, and it gives us all confidence that they know what they're doing. And the fact that he's like, yep, it just confirmed what I already knew. That gives me so much confidence in this team going forward every single week after week after week after week.
All right. I think Jalen wants to say something. Jalen, we talk about Dan Campbell. We talk about these young guys, the expectations, and then proving to Coach Campbell it's everything he expected and more from last night. What are your thoughts on that? Or if you have another comment to make, let me hear it.
I think the whole team dynamic is different. Everything is different. You got dogs in the lineup. You got dogs in the locker room. You got dogs on the staff, too. Everyone is, grimy. They get it done. It's Detroit. Like, if you know how Detroit is, that's how we get it done. Every time we step on the field, every time we go to work, hustle, blue collar, you got dogs in there, man. You don't have anybody that's, silver spoon is giving to them, things like that. Hard workers, hard hitters. Drafting-wise, we did that. We got Gibbs, Jack, Laporta, Martin and Brian Branch. You bring in, Chauncey. You bring in all these guys. They're blue-collar dudes. They're not, I grew up, everything, they had to work for that. That's Detroit in a nutshell. That's how we get down. So, I'm ready. It's up there. It's stuck.
Someone on ESPN said that same thing today. There was like, they built this team to be like the city of Detroit. And that's the best thing I love about it is like these dudes are working. They show up to work every day ready to go. I love that, Jalen. That's unbelievable.
They've got an identity.
They do, and that's what you need to go win a championship, an identity, and they've got it. That's why that narrative out the door.
100%. And when we start talking Pistons, like that's my biggest question mark. We're not talking Pistons yet today, but in a couple of weeks. So over the next couple of weeks, I feel like they're lacking an identity. I love the moves that they've made, but the next step is Monty Williams creating that identity behind Cade Cunningham. But first, we're going to take a little break. Please call in. I think we still got the phone lines going, but I'm going to tell you about Dispo, where you can experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with Dispo Dispensary. With over 12 locations, including their new location that's now open in Whitmore Lake, Dispo is never far away. You can join the Ermanni and Edwards with Maz show and the Woodward Heavyweights, broadcasting live from the Whitmore Lake location on Friday, September 15th. The address there is 50 North Territorial Road, Whitmore Lake, Michigan. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com. They are your local cannabis plug.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
How would you like to win a 100K Vegas getaway? You can take your friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack of Syntron today and enter to win. You can register at drinksyntron.com Cintron.com/Vegas and buy Cintron at your local Meijer store. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with the great taste. Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste. Look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself with Cintron. Drink Cintron.com/Vegas. I ended that hard. Let's go. Yeah. Oh, man, we are back. I think we got a quick little video to play for you. We're going to see if this reaction works. Of the David Montgomery game-winning touchdown yesterday. This is Easy's got a little funny little dance going here. Everyone went.
Keep
Jamal ain't doing that. I'm sorry.
I wonder if Spenny, I know he said he blacked out last
Booner,
night.
Booner, you okay, man?
I just in those moments, dude, you just black out, especially when you're gambling and you have money on the table.
There you go.
That was the yesterday. I gave out the David Montgomery touchdown, and I was literally everyone I saw throughout the day, throughout the week. I mean, we said it. I think I might have said it on the show here earlier this week that David Montgomery's going to get in the end zone, and I told everyone all day. My other job. All around here, the office is here. I was telling everyone, David Montgomery touchdown, plus 120. Everyone put it on. And in the first half, it was not looking good. And then once we got to that second half, that drive, it was like, just keep giving it to Monty. Give it to Monty. Boom, punched it in. I blacked out there. I didn't know what happened.
You know what that move
hit
from
the biggest bet of the night.
You know what that move from Easy reminded me of? I'm going to come right back to you, Jalen. Are you able to play that the Amon-Ra touchdown dance, 7 seconds?
I just might. Let's see.
Give it a shot. I think there was some inspiration here.
He did. I wonder if that might be where he took it from.
There's some inspiration. Check this out.
Detroit.
Oh yeah. It's all in the hips. It's all. Easy had some of that hip gyrations.
I don't know. I think Easy might have had a better one, man.
Do you think so?
I do. I mean, Easy's something. I don't want to give out free shouts of different places or anything, but Easy did get posted on a couple different different places.
Easy was he was moving. Let me just keep it at that. Pause.
I think Easy would have got flagged for his. St. Brown got lucky.
All that jiggle, baby.
I don't know if this is the real Neil Rule in here.
I doubt it, but what's Neil Rule say?
I don't even know. He typed up a paragraph. Know when Lions defense lays an egg against premier receivers next week, you see the true team this is. That's Sharon Glenn.
Wow.
A bum defensive coordinator. Same old beep return.
He's been in the chat all day on that. Do not believe that is the real Neil.
Because Neil Rule, I don't think, would say all of that. I mean, I know it's 3 elite wide receivers with JSN, DK, and Tyler Lockett, but look, who cares?
Is JSN even playing? Is that confirmed?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he might be playing this week.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you give him 10 days, I've seen that he might be ready for this week. So,
what about Devon Witherspoon? Is he playing? He was hobbled.
I don't know. He might be. Not 100% sure. Real quick too, make sure you guys like the stream. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Like the stream. We're at 140 now. Can we get to 175? We have about almost 200 people watching. Let's get to 175. Make sure you guys call. You guys can give a call in here while we're taking calls. I would love for someone to call in so we could talk about the same old Lions stuff. At 9:40 here, we're gonna go to break in a little bit. If we can get a call or two about the same old Lions stuff, whether you're on my side, against me, I don't care. Just call in. I would love to have that conversation. The number is 313-552-6322. I'll put it in the chat here and we'll get it pinned. But just call in on that because I'm very, very interested to hear what people have to say about that. To be honest, Broder.
I got a question for you. Are there any, we've talked a lot about the rookies, about C.J. Gardner-Johnson, the stars. Were there any other players or positional units that you think were the kind of the unsung heroes or sleepers from last night? Yeah. Anything that stands out to you?
Great question. I made actually a list. My number one unsung hero, because no one really was talking about him, and like Easy said, it kind of got brushed under the rug, was C.J. Gardner-Johnson with that. But one guy I will give you on offense, I mentioned him a little bit, was Josh Reynolds.
Yeah.
And it seemed like he was that guy to where anytime we needed a big play or anytime we needed something to happen or kind of a deep shot to move the ball a little bit, it was Josh Reynolds that stepped up and got that play. I didn't realize it until this morning at all, but Josh Reynolds led the team in receiving yards with 80 yards. And I didn't realize that until this morning. Like he's one of those guys where you see those plays come through, and you just kind of expect him to make like a play on first down, and he catches a 20-yard ball on like a 3rd and 15, and he converts it. And you just don't think about it till the end of the game, and then you look at it and you're like, oh, 4 catches for 80 yards?
Yeah.
So I did like what Josh Reynolds did for that offense last night. If we didn't have Josh Reynolds, it could have been a different game.
He's that security blanket for Jared Goff,
Yes.
and he has been all the way dating back to
Is that wide receiver too?
Yeah, 2018 when they squared off against Mahomes. He had 80 yards and a touchdown in that game, and this one it was 4 receptions for a game high 80 yards. Do you know this is his 4th game of 80 or more yards since joining Detroit?
Yes, and real quick too, let me tell you real quick.
Do it.
About Woodward and Maine. Matthew Broder's show here for all the inside scoop for your Detroit Lions. A Woodward and Maine show featuring Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Detroit Legend. I always go Detroit Lions because we talk about them right now.
Oh, yeah.
Terry Foster. Episodes 2 times a week from Sundays from 8 to 9 a.m. and Tuesdays 7 to 8 a.m. Make sure you tune in for the most in-depth reporting, game breakdowns, and everything you need to know about the Detroit Lions. Just go to the YouTube page. It'll be on the Woodward Sports YouTube page at those times.
I know we are going to need to take another break real soon, so I'm going to go to Nick and Jalen after the break and ask them their unsung heroes, but I wanted to just quickly name 2 players. We did mention John Kaminsky, which would be an easy one here. He had that awesome tackle for a loss. I believe it was in the first quarter, tackling, maybe it was Patrick Mahomes behind.
Yeah.
It was Patrick Mahomes, that's right. Khalil Dorsey, special teams. Cornerback Khalil Dorsey, he started the game hot on special teams, and throughout the entire game, he was making plays both kick returning when they gave him a chance to run back, which was few and far between, but also on kick coverage. He was always the first man down. He made some huge hits, and some of you agree with PFF, some of you don't. Take it for what it is. He was the highest graded PFF player in the entire game with a 90 point, I've got it here somewhere, 90.0. Highest rated special teams player by a wide margin. Khalil Dorsey. Yep.
He almost had that. I mean, the fumble too. Obviously, the elbow was down, but he's out. He's been making plays.
That's a big hit. Number 2 was Jalen Reeves-Maybin. I'll keep this one short. He had the awesome punt. That was my bad. Awesome punt, fake punt run to get that first down earlier in the game, and he was all over the place on kick coverage too. So Jalen Reeves-Maybin and Jalen Reeves-Maybin and Khalil Dorsey, as well as John Kaminsky, are some unsung heroes. We will come to Nick and Jalen after that, but first, I need to tell you about Big Boy, and you need to tell him about Big Boy.
I do, because burgers and sandwiches are back here. Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. That looks so good right there. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat some dinner after this. I've been working all day. It is burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Are you craving chicken? Try the Dolly chicken sandwich or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your fries with our chili cheese fries and loaded baked potato fries. And the best part of it all, save some room for some dessert because we have a treat for you. Indulge in our Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake or satisfy your sweet tooth with our funnel cake fries at Big Boy.
Winners, losers, pushes and draws, over-unders, prop bets, futures and spreads. Are you sick and tired of your picks being losers? Do you want to learn how to bet like a champion? Well, Woodward Sports searched the globe for the most dangerous man with a bet slip in his hand and gave him a show. Coming soon to Woodward Sports. Tune in every weekend as we introduce the greatest gambler to ever walk the earth.
Hi, I'm Booner, and I don't lose.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Are you a diehard college football fan? Well, it's your lucky day. Join special WSN guests like Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam, and more every Saturday. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Saturdays and tune in live from 8:30 to 10 a.m.
Downtown's newest sports bar, 5 Iron Golf, has 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. 5 Iron Leagues are back, debuting on September 11th. You can compete nationwide for a chance to win a trip to the Dominican Republic. So bring a foursome or sign up as an individual to be placed on a team at 5irongolf.com. Use code Woodward10 for 30% off the league. That's 5irongolf.com to sign up.
Welcome back to Woodward Nights. We appreciate you guys all tuning in here tonight. I know it is Friday night. Some people are probably out having a good time. 9:45 on a Friday night. But we're here. We're talking Detroit Lions. Make sure you hit that like button. We've got about 107 people watching. Let's get to 175 likes here before we end the stream tonight for the Detroit Lions. But, Jalen, were you able to get that graphic at all? I just sent it through. All right, perfect. So one thing here with this game here, and the SOL thing, all of that, I know I've been big on that, but the Detroit Lions have been moving the needle big time with viewership here. And look at this tweet here that we put out today and we saw from NBC. It says here that NBC just announced that last night's Detroit Lions versus Kansas City Chiefs games averaged nearly 27 million viewers. Last season's Bills-Rams opener only averaged 21.7 million viewers. That is incredible to me. And there was something where in NBC and Peacock alone, with all the shows that they have, movies, everything that they put out, that was the most viewed thing in the last 8 or 9 months since the Super Bowl.
Wow.
For NBC and Peacock. So that, to me, it shows instantly that last year, I know you saw the Bills-Rams. That's a big-time game. That's not like a slouch of a game. This year, obviously, the Chiefs are in it, the defending champs. But you throw the Detroit Lions in there, there was a lot of people who were like, oh, the Detroit Lions are getting the stage. That right there showed that people wanted to show up and watch and see what the Detroit Lions are about.
Not too long ago, if that was the opening matchup, it would be the lowest rated opener in NFL history. People would say Detroit Lions versus the Chiefs. Chiefs are going to win all day long. Things are different. This talk about getting rid of SOL. This is part of it. Nick, what do you think this says about the Detroit Lions? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, everybody loves a good Cinderella story, right?
Let's go.
Come on. This is the start of it. Why not? They got all the national media hype going into it. Like you said, they wanted to see if it was for real. First game, it is. Let's just keep building it and building it and building it. Hopefully we get, all these ratings throughout the whole entire season when we do get these national games.
It's different, man. Jalen, does it feel different to you too?
I think it feels different, but I feel like they still don't believe to an extent,
They as in nationally?
Just the media, America, let's do that. I don't think they believe in us. They think, we've done this before. We've had good starts to the year and things like that, but I think this year is completely different. Like I said before, I don't care who played yesterday. We're going to win anyway. So now we have that game out the way. If we just keep playing good and keep going, we're going to be on TV. They're going to love Dan Campbell, and they're going to love the Lions. I'm not worried. But Detroit was already 10 toes behind them, so we don't need them. We have our city behind us,
Oh, city behind them for sure. Hey, Booner, could you tell the people about the live stream as we start to head down the final path?
Yes, let me tell you real quick about the live stream. Whether you're watching college football, pro football, whatever you're watching here for football in the fall, sit back, crack open the cold one, and line up your bets with Booner Bets and Woodward Bets. Tune in and watch college football and pro football with your favorite Woodward sports personalities. All of us in the room have been there at some point, but it is going to be every Sunday for the Detroit Lions games, Saturdays for Michigan games, Michigan State games. We will be live tomorrow actually at 3:30 for the Michigan and Michigan State watch party. Make sure you guys tune in on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube page.
One of the reasons why I'm so confident in this team, both this year and for the future, that offensive line. The starting offensive line, out of 70 offensive snaps in the entire game, those 5 guys played 100% of the game. They all played 70 snaps. I never thought we'd see that. The offensive line's usually banged up a little bit.
Yeah.
There's one guy who's going to get a blow here and there. No, man, they're coming together.
And they made some plays last night too. There was times where they stepped up and David Montgomery was able to get behind them and get first downs to extend drives.
100%.
The touchdown. Like, there were different times where they were able to step up and really make plays, and that offensive line is that's a legit offense. Top 2 in the NFL.
Yes.
Showed last night. There were some times like that 4th down that we went for, where it's like, all right, we need to get that, and obviously we come up short, give the ball back with a couple minutes left, and it's a little nerve-wracking. But that offensive line, that is a luxury to have.
Yes.
It's a luxury to have.
If there's one position on that offensive line that you might have a question, maybe it's right guard, since Halapoulivaati Vaitai
You just wanted to say
back.
the name.
I did just want to say that, but I also want to say he was the highest offensive rated player, highest rated offensive player on both teams with a PFF grade of 88.8, which was 86.8 pass block, 82.9 run block. He had the best game as an offensive lineman. I'm confident in the offensive line, and I'm going to ask this to the chat too, because we're about to start mailbag. We're going to ask me anything, so get your questions in. But I'm going to phrase this to everybody here real quick. Are you worried at all about the defensive line and specifically the interior at all?
It's a great question. Let's go to break real quick.
Okay.
We'll talk about that. Let me tell you guys about Lady Jane.
Lady
You guys see this hair
Jane's.
here? I need a haircut this week, and I'm going to be going, look at that. Wow. I need a haircut, boys. Let's get a haircut. And you know where I'm going to go? I'm going to go right over here tomorrow, right after our Woodward Bet show, and I'm going to go to Lady Jane's. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. To register to win a trip of your dreams, and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, because it's wicked awesome.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line. Featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Wondering where the best tailgate is? That's easy. It's Eastern Market, the official Detroit Lions tailgate party at Shed 5 in Eastern Market. Woodward Sports will be broadcasting live for every home game. It'll be featuring a 3-star Michelin buffet from Chef Aaron May. Wow. VIP parking, yes, and even tickets if you need them. How do you sign up? Go to bullseyeeventgroup.com and tailgate like a VIP. That's bullseyeeventgroup.com.
Chris, shut your mouth.
Oh, here we go. I
Hear that drop.
Hey, everyone in the chat, all of the listeners who called me 410, I'm standing right now. I go out of the picture here.
I can do that too.
Broder might be a little bit more, but Broder's like 6'8". He is like 6'8".
I see a question from Eric Burrow, mailbag. Everyone get your questions in. Was there any player that surprised you last night that you didn't expect to show out? That's a great one. I thought, I'll go first. I thought Benito Jones played a pretty good game. Wasn't perfect, wasn't anything, but he's stepping up into a starting role. Many people expected him to be a second, third unit guy, so I like that. I also really like Josh Pascal. Maybe didn't light up the stat book, but that huge play on 3rd and 1 when the Chiefs tried to do a little sweep to the outside and he just shut it down. Pascal's going to have a huge year.
Can I hit my the same one here with Josh Reynolds?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I think there was maybe one. I would say there's like 5% of people who thought Josh Reynolds was gonna like really go off, and he did. So that 5%, I would say Josh Reynolds though. There was one in here, Broder, and this is a question for you.
Okay.
Peaceful Tim, shout out Peaceful Tim.
Oh, shout out.
Watches all the time.
Dude.
Were there any injuries last night? This is a Broder question. As a beat reporter,
I should have had this the official write up. There wasn't anything serious. Taylor Decker had a little. He tweaked his ankle, and Dan Campbell talked about it in his post game press conference. He was actually seen, someone said, walking in a boot after. I think it's just precautionary. He said it happened earlier in the game, and he just powered through it. So I don't think it's anything to worry about. Nick, you got something?
Mailbag from Tiger Town. Do you guys still think we might trade for Mike Evans still? He's exactly what we need.
That's a great question. If we trade for Mike Evans, I think it has to be by Sunday or Saturday, tomorrow, because he gave the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by tomorrow. I guess he gave him by tomorrow. He said by tomorrow we need an extension done. We need to figure something out. I wouldn't be surprised if they did make a move, because obviously that was like that deep threat, that thing, obviously without J-Mo. I wouldn't be surprised.
Brad Holmes is 2 steps ahead of everybody. I mean, he had the wherewithal to plant Kadarius Toney on the Chiefs last night, and he didn't even have to sign him to our roster and pay him. It was freaking awesome. Charles Dirksen. I'm going to send this to everybody in the room. Yep. If you were a Detroit Lions player, what song would you play before the game? What's your walk-up song?
Oh, man. Can you give me a second? You guys go
first. You get
first.
a second. Nick, you ready?
I want to go last.
You want to go last?
Yeah, I mean, this is just a hype song. It's always been one of the hypest. Shout out Detroit, 42 Doug, STFU.
That's the name of the song?
Yeah.
I
STFU.
I don't know if I've ever heard it. I'm going to have to go find that.
I'll play it for you, Broder.
Okay, deal. Welcome to Detroit City is pretty fire. When I pitched, my walkout song, or my mound song was, Mine Down the Road by Rev Run. Go check it out. It's a fire. Jalen, you know what I'm talking about.
It was my Get Hype softball song, so that's my competitive nature now, is playing beer league softball. But I hope my old team's doing well. I can't play anymore.
Who's going?
You ready, Booner? I'll go before you.
You go, yeah.
I got you. You said song. Let me think. Easy V's, not a drill. This is not a fire drill, baby. It's the real thing. That's real Detroit right there. Best rapper in the city, by the way. Shout out to 1-800 Parlay and the Wavy Gang over there, man. Make sure y'all. I'm gonna get you, Broder, on some V's and Babyface Ray, man.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Booner.
I'm gonna just keep it simple here. I listen to this on my way when I go from my other job to here every day. I listen to Rick Ross. I've got 3 Rick Ross songs, but the one I listen to, Blowing Money Fast, I think I'm Big Meech. Larry Hoover. That's my song. I love that. If you guys pull up to me on a light on Woodward here, that song would be all the way up, and I would be just banging it.
Dude, fire.
In the back all the time, I always say that. That song's always stuck in my head, and I'm always just yelling, I think I'm Big Meech.
Who's Rick Ross's rival?
I don't know. Drake. I know they had like a beef song.
I don't think he had one, man.
Color Money.
That Buffalo Wild Wings.
No diss track.
Jeez, man.
I see what you did there, because Wingstop is his.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you do.
Lorena
need to tell,
said Booner lame. I'm sorry. I don't know.
You do need to tell them about the live stream.
Yeah, I need to tell you real quick about Rivals, which there was
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Rivals today, but the Woodward Sports Resiny Sparty. Spencer Raxter and Walmart Wolverine, Flannel Sam go head-to-head in Woodward Sports' latest show, Woodward Rivals, every single Thursday from 7 to 8 a.m. live. You can catch Flannel Sam and Spencer Raxter on that show there. Make sure you go to the Woodward Sports YouTube page to watch that, 7 to 8 a.m. on Thursdays.
We are coming down the final stretch. Keep pummeling the chat with questions for mailbag. Colton's Cardboard asks, I'm wondering, Colton, is that a sports card reference? You a cardboard collector? I am, so let's chat. I would love to talk sports cards. Mailbag, when will Goff break up his no interception streak?
I'm not answering that. I like the question. I will opt out. I don't want to jinx anything. I don't want to. That's like that streak's insane. I think there's only 2 other people who are ahead of him, right?
Is it Aaron Rodgers and
Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
I think it's Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
He's inching closer. Nick, what's your prediction?
I got the answer for this one.
Don't say it. If you say it,
it's not gonna be at home, so he's gonna break the record.
Definitely.
And I think Thursday night football. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna say it, but if he does do it, it's gonna be on the road.
Okay.
He's getting a perfect environment at home.
Not to predict anything bad. I mean, Jared Goff, he's probably gonna.
Yeah, I'm with Be Ruthless. Why would anyone say anything about that? Come on.
What? It's a streak. I think he's gonna break it. I think he might get picked off in Green Bay in a win at Lambeau Week 4 against Green Bay. I do like their secondary, and I think they're going to go in there excited. He's going to try to push the ball downfield. And this sounds kind of crazy. I almost want him to throw some more interceptions. I want him to break the streak, but I want him to take more chances. And I think he's going to have that opportunity. So more chances means more yards, more touchdowns. I want more. I want it all.
Real quick, we're about to end the stream here. It's 9:59. We appreciate all of you guys tuning in. I think we do have a video for the outro here when we tune out. I think it worked. I don't know. I did something here, so hopefully you guys can watch this video. But appreciate you guys all tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. We're at 165. Can we get 10 more? 10
please?
People who haven't hit like yet. Let's hit like before we leave here.
Please?
Can we do that, please?
Before we close out of the stream, like it up, like it up, like it up, like it up. Everybody
Listen, the Detroit Lions beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, the Detroit Lions aren't messing around. We're drinking all of the Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid. Let's go.
Drink it, Booner.
Let's go.
One more time. Smash that like button for Booner as well. Come on. Come on.
Can we get 180?
You know that
Detroit Lions beat
for
the
the
Kansas City
Lions.
Chiefs. Hey, the Detroit Lions aren't messing around. We're drinking all of the Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid. Let's go.
We're almost there. We're almost at 175. Are we there yet?
One more. Rosenberger.
Let's go.
One more.
Let's go. Are we out? Oh, we're out.
I think we're out. Thank you, everybody. I think we're off, though.